I posted something about separation anxiety disorder because it's an actual disorder. So, like I have that too. I don't know what it was that when I got to Texas, I had that really bad. I would like wake up feeling like like a whole part of me was missing. Like it was so weird. I mean, I miss my kids and everything, but it just felt really weird. Like I don't know how I don't know how I got that really. I just I woke up one day just like really sad because I had to leave Las Vegas and I guess I didn't know how long I was going to be there. And I had really bad separation anxiety and I don't know, it was just I was kind of like missing my one friend, like cuz I couldn't rely on my family and so I didn't have anyone to talk to, and my family was like really being mean to me at the time. They weren't being mean, they just were never, they haven't been there for me for like a long time. They've been like just, I don't know, they're just like ghosts, like I just see them whenever, like I saw my brother and my mom on the holiday, and then they were just like making fun of me. Not in a bad way, but yeah, they were just like, oh, you're a bag lady, get in the car, bag lady. And I was like, okay, yeah, I know I'm a bag lady. Just, I was just happy to see them and they were happy to see me. So that's what we do. We rag on each other. So it was okay. I get it, like we always do that. So it's like, yeah, just, I'm used to that. I'm used to like, I've, I've been verbally abused all my life. So it's, it's the norm. Yeah, so we were just like we hung out, my mom and my brother for Christmas. We just hung out for a little while, and then they had to put me on a train or a bus or something to get me back to Vegas. So I've had that for a while. I've had separation anxiety, because like I just get dependent on you know my friends, like my real friends. Like it's hard to call somebody a friend when you're down and they're there for you, but they're not really there when you really need them. Like I've basically given up on people that were not there when I really needed them. Because it's like if you can't be there when I'm down, or if you're the reason I'm down, and then you want to sugarcoat things and act like you are there when you're not, when you weren't there when, like, if you did something to hurt me and I'm sitting there like, what the heck? Like, um, and I don't purposely, like, I mean, like they say hurt people hurt other people. So it's like, I get it, but I don't purposely hurt other people. It's like, like maybe I do say stuff if I'm upset. It's like because, you know, I feel like, you know, someone's like playing me. Like either they care or they don't care. And if I'm around people who are caring about me, then I would feel like I'm lashing out at them. I want them to feel like I feel like lonely or whatever. If they're making me feel lonely, then I'm gonna make them feel lonely because it's like, dude, I mean, why should I have to pick up the pieces all by myself? Like, you should at least care for me as a friend, like not even as a relationship. Like, who asked for that? Like, I'm not asking for a relationship. I'm just saying be there as a support system because I don't have one. So I get it. I'm gonna sit there and lash out at somebody who's not there as a support system when I would be there for them. Like it's like, dude, like seriously, like okay, like and me and my best friend talked about how certain people are like they're cool or they're not cool. Um, I don't think that Matthew is cool for what he did. I don't think I'm not going to say nothing good about him because like even if he had an issue with me, he could come to me and tell me something bothered him about me instead of like he's the type of person that'll go through your phone or he'll like look at all your information. Like, it's like, dude, you're mental. You don't look through someone's phone unless they give you permission to. And I'm not your girlfriend. I'm just your roommate. And I was never that type of party. Because when I offered it to him, he said he didn't want a girlfriend because I could have been a temporary girlfriend. I don't really do friends with benefits or long-term boyfriend, girlfriend, because I'm waiting on God to tell me this is the right person. And he said he was a Christian. So I thought we could be boyfriend and girlfriend and serve God together and maybe go somewhere with it. But he's too mental because I had invited him to church a couple times and he liked church. And even Lonnie, my other roommate that I told I didn't want a relationship because of the friends with benefits part. He wanted that. I didn't. So you don't just push your agenda on somebody when they don't want that. Like, yeah, I had crushes on people that I was waiting to see if they were the ones that God sent for me, because God is trying to send somebody good. He's not trying to send just a random person that just pops up on you or that puts you in the ghetto when you're about to buy your new car. I was about to buy a new car and he pulled me into the ghetto. So it's like, I don't think that's the right one. Because God wouldn't do nothing sloppy or messy like that. He might be a good friend, or he's kind of like, he was a good friend, but not good enough for me. Like, I beg to differ about him being my husband, even though that's what he wanted. He wanted to marry me, and he wanted to push his agenda on me instead of what God's agenda was. That's why God removed him from my life. Because I'm the type of person that I can wait on God and other people can't. They want everything right now, so snappy, and so do I. I do too. But I get that part because I'm impatient. You know, I'm very impatient. But I don't want to just rush into something. If God has something for me, then I need to wait for his guidance and his direction. I'm not going to just be like, oh, okay, instant relationship. Like, who cares about an instant relationship if it's going to fall apart, or if they're not the right person, if they're, you know, if it's like tick for tack, you know, it's like try to get to know the person and what they've been through so you could be a good friend. And if God is supposed to be guiding you together, you can go through it together. Like, they were there from day one when I was going through this, or they were a good friend when I was telling them what happened to me or how nobody was there for me. Because when you get around a bunch of fake people and they're not there for you, you know, you look for people that are there for you, or you're just going to keep saying next. Like, I'll say next because I don't have time for somebody to be like playing me for a fool. Like, you know, you either want me or you don't. You know, like, because I'm not going to sit around. I'm going to wait for God, but I'm not going to play no yo-yo games like, oh, come back, and, oh, yeah, I'm sorry I did this to you. It's like, no, you're not sorry. You would try to improve it, and if you're sorry, then improve what you did before. If I'm trying to improve something and they're not, and they just want to get even with me or something, that's not a mature relationship. That's not growing together. Like, oh yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Like, kind of like side up with you. Like, okay, if I knew someone had separation anxiety, I would be trying to help them. Like, I'd be Googling stuff I'd be like, oh no, look, this is what you have. You have separation anxiety disorder. It's a real disorder. So you want to find people that care about you, not just like from a distance, like, or just be like, put a Band-Aid on it. Okay, because some of us need more than a freaking Band-Aid. It's gonna take like, you know, needle and thread or something. It's gonna take like an emergency room visit or something. Like, I really did have to take my friend to the emergency room because he didn't know he took all these pills, and I'm a mom, so his mom wasn't there. So I even talked to his mom, and she's like, oh, thank you. She's like, thank you for saving my son's life. Like, if you know, like, if I wasn't there and my kid went and took a bunch of pills, I would hope to God that there was somebody there to take them to the hospital as a mother, like, don't just be like, oh, just drop him off at home. Like, okay, whatever. If he dies, he dies. No, it's like, I called the freaking place. I was like, okay, this has this in it. It has a acetaminophen. I called poison control because he said he took a bunch of pills. And I was like, what? What? How many pills did you take? And what are they? And give me the fucking package thing. Like, let me see it. I actually care about people. Like, there's people that don't give a fuck. Like, this lady I lived with was a fucking psycho. Excuse my language. I got to her house and, she said there was no bugs and there was bugs there. And she was acting like she couldn't walk. So I was like caregiving for her for like a whole week, and she was putting me in a depression. And then she was talking about how she was sexually molested but never called the police on her mom, or whatever it was that she said her mom did to her. She had men molesting her daughter. And I was like, well, no, that mom would have been dead. Somebody's gonna let somebody molest me or bite off my clitoris, that bitch would have been dead. I'm sorry, God forgive me, but that bitch would have been somewhere behind bars. Maybe not dead, but that would have had me fucked up as a child, and I would have definitely did something about it. I don't care how many years later. I would have fucking went to the law, and I would have went to somebody, or I would have sued the bitch myself. I don't give a fuck if she's my mom. I mean, that kind of shit makes me cuss. If somebody does anything to a child, that really pisses me off. They did all kinds of stuff to my children, and I still don't know what they did to my children, and I'm still pissed off. I want a rape kit done, because I don't know. I don't let nobody touch my children, because I will slam them. I will body slam them, and I will do something that I probably would regret. I'll probably throw their ass in the hospital bed, and they won't be getting out anytime soon. I'm talking like crippled, fucking throw them off a bridge type of shit, and be like, oh, well, motherfucker, that's what you get for touching my child. Touch my child again, and we'll see what happens to you type shit. But let's get back on the subject. It's like, okay, separation anxiety disorder. So we got to learn what these things are if somebody has it. There's a lot of stuff that's going on where there's like, people don't even care what kind of pills they're taking. They're hanging around bad people, and somebody will give them the wrong pill, and they need to go to the hospital. They need to not even take these pills. They need to just be like, talk to your kids about, don't take pills. People need to talk to their kids. That's how kids die. One of my friends' kid died overdosing, and then he didn't care about his life. When his kid died, he was drinking, and he just didn't care, and he wanted to kill himself too. So we got 2 suicides on our hands because there's nobody that fucking cares about other people. I mean, I don't want to cuss, and I'm born again Christian, but there's nobody that really cares about other people. So, yeah, you have to care about yourself at the end of the day. And if you have God, you're okay, because God's going to send angels. He's going to send people to oversee what you're doing. Like, somebody I met on the bus invited me to church because I was looking for a new church. And I really did pray with that lady, and she said she prays and everything, but you don't let somebody get off the hook. I don't care if they're your mother. Don't let anybody off the hook if they did something messed up to you. Like, you don't have to retaliate against them. You could, like I felt sorry for her, but she really was, I could see she was like a hater. There's people that are just hating because they're miserable and they can't walk or whatever it was that was her problem. I even gained a bunch of weight living with her. When I was doing good with my trainer, I gorged on a bunch of food, and she had ordered like $70 worth of pizza on my credit card, and I couldn't even pay my phone bill. So here I was going to live with her because I felt sorry for her, because she said she couldn't pay her rent, and she wanted me to hurry up and decide if I was going to live with her. And then I did. I went and moved in, and I helped her out and everything. And the thanks I got was that we only had a week to move out, and she was more concerned about the crackheads that she wanted to move in than somebody that rescued her, because the other crackhead wasn't paying her shit, And I jammed him up about that. I was like, why would you stay with this woman and get over on her? Like, yeah, you bring her food or you bring her beer or whatever, but that's not going to pay the bills. Like, I checked his ass, and he didn't like that about me, that I checked his ass. It's like, you're a grown-ass man, and you can't even take out the trash. You know, there's just piece of shit people that want to loaf around on other people. And at least if I have, you know, like I took some people in, but they were not loafing around on me. I took a lot of people in during COVID to help them because I'm a good person. And they all, some of them appreciated me. Some of them were lashing out or whatever. They all appreciated me. But at the end of the day, I made sure that they were going to help me out, you know. And some people will resent you for that because I tried to take in little Vanessa and her stupid boyfriend that was talking shit to me because he was mad that I said no the first time because I already had a roommate and it was just me and my roommate and we were going to let his daughter come live with us and it was just going to be a roommate thing. It wasn't going to be like a relationship, and I told him that up front, like I don't want a relationship right now because I'm waiting for God to tell me who the right relationship was, and he definitely wasn't, even though he seemed to be nice, but he tried to like side up with them and they were all making me the bad person. And it's like, no, you should have stood up for me when this guy was talking shit to me. You should have checked his ass instead of kissing his ass and making friends with them. But that's what they were doing. They were manipulating him. When I was gone at work, they were like keeping him company and smoking weed with them, but they were trying to pull him from my team because they saw how good he was treating me and buying me weed every week. And they're like, oh, this guy is easy to manipulate. We could get our clutches in him and just say, fuck Michelle, you know, and that's what they tried to do. And it's like, no, you ain't going to say fuck me on anything. Not when I bring him here as my roommate and you guys are going to try to turn him against me. And they did. And he was upset because I didn't want to continue to be his girlfriend. It was just a little temporary thing, like a fling. And it's like, so what? So what? You know, I'm waiting on God and I have to give my life back to God. And no matter how long I have to wait or whatever I go through, that's a trial or a temptation or a storm. When you're in those things, you have to still give your life back to God. It doesn't matter what, you know, if you're in a crisis, of course you're going to be like, well, I have to do this. I gotta, you know, do some street moves or whatever it is, you know, like to get out of that, but you don't want to stay there. They obviously want to stay in sin. I don't. They obviously don't care about their eternity or their own life. I care about my life. So whoever falls by the wayside, they obviously don't care about their life because they haven't tried to give their life to God like I have. You have to get up over and over and over again. And that's what cures separation anxiety in the long run, because God puts angels around you, and when you go through the fire, you will not be burned. And forgive me for cussing, but I just get really emotional about caring for people, and I want them to learn what really helps them in life, and the only true thing that really will help them is God. God is the answer for everything. Whether you believe in God, whether your family taught you about God, He's the answer. Because I was in church one day and I said, yeah, I went somewhere with my family, or I went somewhere and I told them I felt like burdened down. And they were like, okay, well, that's when you ask God to take your burdens away from you. So when you feel weighed down or heartbroken, you ask God. Say, Lord, I'm feeling burdened down. And He will remove those burdens from your life. And as soon as I did ask God to remove my burdens like they told me to do, because they're Christians, and, you know, Christians are professional workers of the Lord. They know what they're talking about. You know, we are here sent by God, and the little education that I got, I am sent by God to help people. So whether you believe it or not, or whether you think I have a high education or a low education, I'm educated by God because I was called, chosen, anointed, and appointed. I'm not here by mistake. If you meet someone, it's called a divine intervention, and you were supposed to meet that person. Because we are witnesses of God. We are ambassadors of Christ. Yeah, we cuss or we get into our feelings or whatever. Jesus, forgive us when we're trying to get a point across, or we're upset or people upset us, because we are in the flesh. We are not perfect. Nobody is perfect, and nobody is holier than thou. We're not holier than thou. We're just trying to get the message across how important it is to go to God and to pray. It says pray without ceasing, which means pray without stopping. We're supposed to be praying more than we're doing anything in life. Before you get in your car, pray. Pray over your car that your car will run the way it should so that you could get to your job. Pray to God. Say, Lord, protect me from any unseen dangers or harm ahead of me. Protect me. Send your strongest angels all around me. And you always have to pray. Like, no matter what you do, that's the key to life, is pray. Okay? Like, we used to go on trips. When we would go to LA, I would get in the car with my husband. I would get in the car with my boyfriend's family, who would have been my husband, but I said no. You know? It's like, you want a different answer? Ask a different girl. Because that's one of my favorite lines in Working Girl. You know, because it's like straight up, straight out. You know, it's like, ask another girl. It's like, it ain't this one. I'm only going to put up with so much from somebody before I decide that I'm done, or that, you know, I don't have to be treated average. I have to be treated like the queen that I am. I am of a royal priesthood. I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm not like everybody else. If I was kind of partying and I was doing my own thing for a while, because I got stressed out from my life. I got stressed out from, you know, everything, you know, like everything that wasn't going my way, because people were pushing their agenda on me. It's like, I'm not going to push my agenda on someone. I'm trying to get to know someone. And if they don't want to open up their heart to get to know me, okay, end of story. I'm not going to sit there and keep pushing down the walls of Jericho. I mean, dang. Why would you put somebody through that when they're just trying to get to know you, or they're just trying to be your friend, or they're trying to communicate with you, and then people don't want to communicate back? And that's okay. You know, you don't have to communicate back. I mean, there's like people that are just purposely ignoring you. It's like, okay, well, that's your bad. I mean, I would never do that to nobody, even if I didn't like them. I've never ignored anybody, like, purposely. I might give someone a bad attitude if they did ignore me. I might be like, well, okay, you're going to try to play me like that, like a yo-yo? Like Joey tried to play me like a yo-yo. He called me one day, and he's like, oh, there's the Freddie Jackson concert. And I was like, okay. So he's like, Google it and all this. It's like, well, you're the one that told me about it. Why don't you buy the tickets? Why are you telling me to Google it or whatever? Like, what am I supposed to do? You going to tell me about a concert? What do you want me to pay for it? Or what is the deal? Like, I don't want to hear about a concert that you told me about. It's like, shit, be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Because I'm not going to sit there. I could take myself to a concert, and somebody asked me, my best friend, one of my best friends, but he's just like, we broke up. Like, I broke up with him to go to Texas. I was going to leave, and he begged me not to leave, and I left anyway. Because what's the point in staying when I'm serving God right now, and if I have to physically leave, I will. That's why I left Lonnie. I physically left my own apartment, and I paid rent to move in somewhere else. It wasn't a lot because Matthew said I just had to pay $300. And he said he was a Christian, which I found out he wasn't, very Christianly, because he was like doing weird stuff. And me and Lonnie paid for his key. Me and Lonnie, were kind of like mother and fathering him. And we paid for his key like 3 times and he kept losing it. And he crashed in his own door. He kicked in his own door and said somebody broke it. And we were like, what? So it's like, okay. So we were talking about that at the visit. Like, yeah, he's got like a little bit of PTSD or mental health issues. Like something happened to him in his life that made him sketchy. Like that one minute he's nice, but he has an alcohol problem too. I noticed that. And it's okay. We all have problems. I had a fucking marijuana problem, so what? I had a drinking problem when I was younger because I used to get drunk. Because I liked drinking and just to get drunk, so who cares? But I got over that, I don't drink anymore. I only drank in high school. And when I was like 21, and when I had my daughter, I got drunk because it's called self-medicating, and then my husband, we got drunk one time. He goes, "You're fun when you're drunk." We were dancing, having a good old time. I was so drunk. And then he goes, "You're fun when you're drunk." And we had, I don't know what it was. We drank a whole bottle of wine and it the bottle flew all over the wall. We were just being stupid. And we were playing that one song. I think it was by John B. And it was just so funny. I'll have to send him this video. I was like, remember when we played that song? Where it's I don't know what song it was. It was he was like, "Is you too fine to be drinking all alone," or something like that. I don't know what it was. I got to look up that John B song. I like that song too, actually. I'm going to have to put that on one of my TikToks or whatever. So, and my TikTok got screwed up. I don't know what the fudge happened to it. I'm like, wow. It lets you make a video, but it says it's a private account with a bunny rabbit on it. And I'm just like, what the hell? Who did this? And it doesn't let you, I don't know. I was just like, what the fudge? I didn't even do that. I was like, who hacked me? Like, wow, these people are doing the most, just hating on me, damn. So anyway, but yeah, separation anxiety issues 101. That's what we're talking about right now. And I wanted to be like a psychologist or something like that. I had checked into it at one point, but it's too much schooling. I mean, everything is too much schooling. It's like, I'm just going to be a freaking entrepreneur and get it over with. And my dad's going to help me with this cryptocurrency. So I'm down to make some money. It's so I can get facelift. I don't like I want this to go away, but then is it going to go away? I don't like having freaking double chin. But my mother-in-law said you have to do these or somebody told me about those exercises. You got to go like this, and it turns into a muscle. You have to do these little chin exercises. And it's like, well, fudge. Let me do this every day. I don't want to have I don't want to have this chin like this. I want to get I need my mother-in-law wanted plastic surgery, but she never got it. It's not that bad when I lose the weight. Maybe it'll go away. Maybe it's just fat. I don't know. It's like shit. I don't have a thyroid problem, but they said to watch out for that. They did a scan on me. My dad we went to this medical thing and it was really awesome. And they said, be careful with your thyroid. So, everybody, so they said they did a scan. And so that's why I want to lose the weight so I won't have any health issues and just watch what I eat. Because if your thyroid goes, you're screwed. You're just it keeps the weight on you. But because I have the breathing disorder, once I get my machine, it's going to help me lose weight. Because the weight, if you're not getting oxygen, you're tired. Okay? So I take naps because I'm not getting a whole bunch of oxygen while I'm sleeping. And so I have to take naps to recover for feeling tired. It's like, I don't know. It's like shit. It's like, I don't even want to have this freaking medical condition. It sucks because it's like, I don't like going to the doctors. I got to go through all this crap just to have my medical insurance. But I got this good medical insurance, so now I got to find a primary care doctor. And it's like, I was literally crying in Texas over this because I went. My dad took me, and they did the whole thing. I did so much work when I was in Texas to just get nowhere. I did all kinds of work to get into college. I got nowhere. They didn't even send me anything, so I was like, oh God doesn't want me here right now. God doesn't want me in Texas right now, so I had to go somewhere else. It's like, oh man. Wherever God wants you, you gotta go. Like if he says go to New York, he will talk to you, his children. He talks to me. He told me Christian wasn't the right person for me, and I was just like, okay, God, whatever. Then I packed up and left because sometimes you have to leave. And I doubt that Lonnie was the right person for me. Lonnie was cool. He's always been my friend, and he's taking care of me sometimes. But when he was down, he didn't have a job. I was still there for him, and he needed my support at one point, so he called me to come through to the hood. But he was playing games too. He was trying to use me to make someone else jealous, and then she tried to be my friend, only to like do messy shit to me and laugh about it. That's why I was telling my other homeboy that these are my friends that I bring in, and she was trying to like snake all my friends and turn them against me. She turned Matthew against me. She tried to turn Sage against me. And Sage knows that I love her, and I was like trying to be like adopt them. I was trying to like adopt them and mentor them because they're young kids like my kids age, and my kids don't need me per se, and they did need me. And then she tried to come over one day and accuse me of being a man stealer when me and Cameron were having like therapy. We were talking, and I was trying to help him, and I've been praying for him the whole time, so he knew I was a good person. It's just when she started all that drama, Sage ended up getting her back messed up because they were high. They were in the motel. They got high, and he didn't realize the strength, and he felt horrible about it. And I didn't even want him to come back into my house because I felt like it was a bad thing. Like it's domestic violence, but she attacked him. And the hotel even said, do you want to press charges on her? And he's like, no. And he felt really bad. He was out of character. We were just going to go swimming. Like she didn't want to go to the pool because I was going to get in my bathing suit, and she thought he liked me, which he does like me, but not like that. We were just trying to have fun. Like Matthew was coming, and me and Matthew and Cameron, we went on little dates sometimes, just three of us, like just for fun. We went down to what was it? That Friday. I don't know. We had fun, and then we went to the hotel, casinos and stuff. That was after Sage, went to jail. But this hater was trying to get him to hate me because Sage went to jail. And it's like, well, she put herself in jail. I'm not going to let her get away with all this stuff. She had broken my windows when she was there because they were fighting, and they were like out of control. And then Jazzy comes over and makes it worse. I don't mean to say anybody's name on camera, but she made it worse. And it's like, dude, you don't even know me like that to accuse me of anything. But, that's going to make me go into war with somebody. If they're going to fucking try to accuse me of something, then we are definitely going to go to war. I don't have time for that shit, And I didn't know she was going around trying to switch her side people against me. Just coming around being nosy into my affairs, talking to my friends, and turning them against me. So it's like, that is not the thing to do, but God don't like ugly, just like Cameron said. He goes, God don't like ugly, Michelle. So, and he's not even gonna, he was, I guess, had a thing with her or whatever. I don't know what the fuck, but They did. They had something going on, but it was on the low or whatever. But I don't even get that far into people's business. Like, he was my friend to begin with, and so he's still gonna be my friend because some men are loyal to their friends, no matter what. Even if he was, sleeping around, he still got loyalty to the game. And it's like, no,